Yeah, well, um, the risk assessment or the health impact on humans about the usage of nanoparticles. Yeah, there is a negative impact. Each and every technology holds some negative impact. But the toxicity of nanoparticles usually depends on their surface properties, coating mechanism, structures, size, and the ability to aggregate the living system. So these determines the risk factors of the particular nanoparticles, and if the nanoparticles have poor solubility, that can cause cancer. So this is very important when we are going or introducing new technology. We have to think about those things. This is because the nanoparticles have a greater surface area to volume ratio. So this is one of the main reason it possesses the carcinogenic nature if they possess poor solubility. So likewise, the nanoparticles also can enter the body through many routes. For example, dermally, or by ingestion, or by inhalation, or injection, or by implantation. So when we are applying nanofertilizers, nanopesticides, or nano-mediated any supplements to improve the growth and the yield of plants, yeah, there are these all possibilities like dermal, like ingestion, inhalation. These all will be possible. So these nanoparticles may enter dermally when they are present in the skin products, or maybe from the hair products, or from the lip balms. In the near future, it may come nano-based products, skin products, hair products, lip balms, or something like sunscreens, anti-wrinkle creams. These all will come in the near future. So these all have the route to enter our body by our dermal system. So many mechanisms have been proposed to explain the adverse effects which may lead to cardiopulmonary morbidity and mortality in populations exposed to nanoparticles. There are many research. Still, it's going on. Still, it's in the process. Nanoparticles also can stimulate the neurons in the lungs, which affects the central nervous system and the cardiovascular automation function. So the immune system starts releasing some cytokinins, which is chemical substance usually released whenever the body is exposed to foreign materials. So these particles can cause a reaction in the lung. The same way any pollutant or inflammatory substances, sometimes also affecting the ROS of living system, the living entity. These ROS mechanism disrupts in the living system. In the extreme case, this situation can trigger even for cardiac arrest, for cardiac events. The ROS is one of the regular or routinely happening or routinely what would say the routine process in the living entity. So when the ROS mechanism or the ROS procedure disrupts in living entity, it may trigger cardiac arrest in living entity. So we cannot or we may not sort it out very shortly or very quickly, the risk factor, the hazardous nature, and whatever it may be. It is not very simple. Each and every technology holds the adverse effects. But there are some remedial solutions when we are going for new technology, and it has openings, avenues to find out remedies, or it have some remedial solutions. Even World Health Organization, what we call WHO, they have already listed some of the serious health implications on exposure to nanoparticles, but they haven't been explained anything about how large the risk is going to be, or what should be the regulation and the policies are there that have not yet been formulated. By who? Every scientist who is using nanoparticles are being exposed to them. So to use protection such as mask, gloves while working with the nanomaterials. As we have some regular precautions when we are exposing to pesticides, something like harmful chemicals. So there are some routine precautionary measures. So if we go with that precautionary measures, it will be safe. That one of the remedial solution. And they should also be very careful about the disposal of these materials once the experiment is completed. When they are doing research, when the research is on the pipeline, the disposal mechanism should be in a proper way. It should be like very neat, clean, and should be very tight way to avoid hazardous as well as harmful effects. And we should assure these materials after the experiment, it should not enter the environment or exacerbate the new classification of pollution called nanopollution. We have to be very sure when we are handling, when we are using the technology based materials, the disposal mechanism is very, very important. We have to be very sure about it. And current evidences which is available in the research line or research articles, which is not convincible or conclusive about the harmful effects or the risk management or the risk of using nanoparticles. Like as we can think or as we know about before applying or before like announcing any technology for the users of public, it is needs to be done many different models and frameworks for risk estimation especially, or the risk estimation facility being developed to organize the available data and the health effects of nanomaterials and methods to incorporate them into a policy. This is very, very important. When there is a global need for some achievement, so when we are going for, we are looking for some technology to overcome those needs. Each and every technology holds some hazardous effects. So we have to make sure, we have to assure that, or we have to make policies, or we have to make many research on models, or we have to make some frameworks, we have to make policies. We have to make sure, we have to ensure always the public health when we are exposing to the new technology, when we are using the new technology. This is very, very important. And many countries, even the developed countries, are yet to have some regulations in place regarding the usage of nanoproducts, whether it is cosmetics, drugs, implants, or food packaging, or others. Like even in the agricultural field, it is important to use regulatory mechanisms. That is very, very important. The regulatory mechanisms and laws during the production and usage of nanomaterials. This is very, very important. This is very, very serious case. So these all not yet been designed or made any regulations, or they haven't made any policies. Even the World Health Organization have not yet been formulated any policies or any regulations of the usage of nanomaterials, the harmful effects of nanomaterials. They haven't been formulated. Yes, this is one of the serious note. We have to keep it in mind. And yes, does it have any effect on humans? each and every technology, whatever it comes, it may have some risk in humans, animal. When we are using them in an excessive way, the excess usage may leads to the farmers have with the detrimental effects. The excess usage, I mean. So naturally, we need the metals in a ppm level. So for that purpose only, we are wearing some metal rings in our hand. People may use silver or gold or any other metals, maybe copper, which is required for our growth, very minimum level like ppm level. But when we use them more excessively, it may affect human health. It is and agricultural nanotechnology will dominate environmental exposure in the coming days. So there are many data. This article specifically, they have collected informations from different organizations regarding the health, safety, and implementation of nanoparticles for the public and the stakeholders. They have done some extensive research. The risk reduction, risk acceptance, risk identification, risk analysis, risk evaluation. So even they need extensive research to identify these all factors like risk reduction to risk evaluation. And agricultural nanotechnology may or these nano-based systems run off pesticides will increase and contaminate the human food chain. It may, yeah, it will still be there in the crops, and we need to study. So it mainly depends on the ROS. So the ROS system will be the one of the focus we have to keep. The research will sort it out how to overcome such things in the near future. So these helps to improve the sustainable agricultural system in the coming future. Definitely, it will improve the growth, but simultaneously, it may have effect on humans. So these kind of effects leads may not leads to the worst cases or detrimental effects, but definitely the researchers will answer those queries and questions. It will address definitely the nano-based fertilizer, nano-based pesticides. Even it may come in the future nano food also possible, because nowadays nano drugs are vastly growing to treat cancer, the malignancy from humans. It's one of the vast growing field throughout the world they are addressing. And for bioremediation field, environmental remediation field, agricultural field, and industrial effluent remediation, the nanoparticle is nowadays tested by researchers. There are many reports for there are many reports like soil remediation, water remediation, as well as sensor. Uh, they were testing the nanoparticles as a sensing material for air pollution, soil pollution, and water pollution. And they are also using some gas sensors for the betterment. So these are all possible. So with the continuous research, the continuous effort, and the extensive research in the coming days will improve this nanotechnology in a greater way. It will make them to sit in the sophisticated seed for the forthcoming generations. So to keep ourselves healthy as well as the environment healthy, we have to look for sustainability as well as risk-free technology. But no one is guaranteed for any technology. Nothing is without side effects, side or without risk. They may possess a little or a smaller or a minute amount of stress, risk, or side effects. Each and every technology have those. So likewise, inhalation of these nanoparticles or ingestion of this nanoparticle in an excessive manner, it may affect farmers' health. The direct inhalation or the direct ingestion, same like synthetic pesticides. These also have an impact if they inhale or ingest them more and more directly. So without proper handling or without proper precautions, without proper safety measures, if they use, so it may affect definitely. So so likewise, to improve human health, to improve environmental health, so we have to go for bio-tagged materials, bio-tagged technology, and as well as the safety measure is very important to treat such issues. So we have discussed earlier like positive impact of nanotechnology as well as negative impact of nanotechnology in the growing era or growing arena. The first we'll discuss something or will focus more about positive impacts, which is increased light absorption. When we use nanoparticles in the plant's growth or in the as a supplement like fertilizer or pesticide, it improves the light absorption, simultaneously increases the photosynthesis rate, which is very important for the release of oxygen in the environment as well as for the production of food in the plants. And also they have great impact on the enhanced root development and shoot growth, which is very important when we are focusing for the yield, when we are discussing for the yield or when we are looking for sustainable development. The enhancement of root and shoot growth is very important, which is achieved by nanoparticles recently by many researchers. Increased stomatal conductance, the gas exchange is increased, the carbon dioxide and oxygen gas exchange is increased by the usage of nanoparticles, and also reported increased photosystem activity. When we are using nanoparticles, there are increased photosystem activity, which is simultaneously improves the growth of plant and it develops the crop yield. And enhanced antioxidative enzymes, which is very important for the internal or immune system of plants, and more translocation of nutrients. You see, the translocation of nutrient is very important when we are injecting them on the trunk or leaves or in the foliar part or on the root. The injected nutrients should reach all over the parts of the plant, which is very important. So when we are going or when we are using nanotechnology, this translocation rate is improved, and the chlorophyll content is increased in plants, which is reported by many researchers recently. Increased chlorophyll content, which makes the plant to perform more photosynthesis process, it gives more. And this increased chlorophyll content in plants is one of the more successful one achieved by the researchers around the world. So these simultaneously or indirectly improves or it indirectly uplift the yield of plant. Yield it increased fruit yield, increased crop yield, increased grain yield. It is very important. These all the factors like absorption of light, root enhancement and shoot enhancement, stomatal conduction rate is increased, photosystem activity is increased, antioxidative enzymes are increased, translocation of nutrients is more feasible as well as more accurate, and it is higher than the natural rate, and the increased chlorophyll content. So these all improves the increases in the yield of fruits, crops, grains, whatever it may be, fiber or any secondary metabolites or anything like any need like resins comes. Whatever we are looking for, it will be definitely improved, increased, or extensively induced by the nanoparticles. These all are important positive impact of nanoparticles. Certainly, it also possesses some negative impacts like it alters the water and nutrient acquisition and its negative influence on plant genome system. It may because this nano pesticide nano fertilizer are which is not incorporated naturally in the plants, so it may influence on a plant genome system. It may be leads to some sterile plant production or sterile seed production and higher growth and higher light absorption may leads in the morphology of plant and cellular structure. There is a possible. So there is a altered seed germination. It may come. Maybe the altered seed germination will be there due to the fast growth and everything is improved. You see, light absorption, root and shoot growth, stomatal conductance, photostem activity, antioxidative enzymes. Like so, this may alter the genomic level of plants. So, which may cause mutation. Maybe we are not sure, but it needs some extensive like research to tell them correctly or surely in 100% perfectly, right? The altered seed germination rate and the impediment in secondary metabolite production. Yeah, there may be some lag in secondary metabolite production when it, because the plant grows higher and higher, more bigger. They may use all the nutrients for them. They may not produce more secondary metabolites. So we have to focus specifically on the production of secondary metabolites. There is a possibility to improve secondary metabolite production also using technologies as well as genotoxic effects on the plants and the membrane lipid peroxidation and oxidation of biomolecules as well as upregulation of heat shock proteins and these all some of the negative impact or we have to focus or we have to do research. So these negative impacts means which urge us to focus more or think more to reach out these negative aspects to overcome the negative aspects. There is a loophole. There may be a loophole for each and every negative as well as each and every positive impact. So to identify the loophole for the betterment of the future, it is very important. And yeah, yes, it's very like it induce the researchers to do more, to conduct more research, to identify how we can sort it out these negative impacts for the betterment of our human society as well as the ecosystem as well as the environment. So this makes this technology, nanotechnology, the continuous research, extensive research makes this technology to grow more, to achieve more, and to develop, to produce sustainable productivity, to meet out the global need of food, to meet out the scarcity of food. The population is growing more, bigger and bigger, faster and faster. We are in out of thinking. We are we even we cannot assume how it is growing. It is growing very fast. So meet out those issues and to sort out the production, to sort out the global need of food. So it is necessary to improve, to indulge, to inculcate this knowledge to the coming generations about the importance of ecosystem, about the importance of environment, about the importance of water and soil resources. These are very important. So This nanotechnology definitely will open up some of the important fields in coming areas in the coming eras. Very much for the opportunity to speak in the faculty development program. Thank you organizers. If you have any queries to discuss, you people can contact the organizers. We will try to rectify your queries. Thank you.